do, see if I got a picture of Anpu, Anubis, Anup. It's got several names.
Think about the mummy.
Huh?
The mummy.
Yeah, the mummy is a good one. Yeah, anybody seen the movie? You see the black dog Anubis.
It's like the bobblehead.
Yeah, Anubis, for the people that see the dog Anubis. But the one you see in the mummy is the one that is the one that is standing up. We want the one that is laying down. If I had a picture, I would draw that picture of Anubis for you. But it's the one that's laying down. You know, the black dog Anubis, the one that's with the long ears, but he's. But the one that's that's laying down with on the hind legs and stuff, you see. The dog Anubis. You put this dog on your automobile. And you don't have to worry about no cop stopping you. You put it on the automobile. When you're flying on an airplane, you put this, you imagine this. It's called creative visualization. Now, Dr. Deborah Blair tells you, if you can't imagine it, it ain't real. But for the mere fact that you can imagine it means it's real. Every last one of them damn buildings downtown was in somebody's imagination before it became a reality. Okay? So you can take this dog Anubis, or Anpu, and you can take this particular dog, and you can put this dog on your car. Put him on the plane. Put him on the airplane. I put him on top of the plane. You don't have to worry about it. For women walking down the street, you imagine this same dog on a leash. Nothing will come of you. Nothing will attack you. You see what I'm saying? And I'm really saying this about the automobile. Also, one of the Yoruba ones in West Africa is they take some red meat and you rub on your tires, on all four tires. Go buy you a pack of red meat and rub that blood on your tires. You don't have to get it on all the tires. Just rub it on most of the tires. Just make sure you get it on the tires. You don't have to be the whole tire. But just make sure you get that blood and your car won't get in a wreck and you probably won't get stopped. You see what I'm saying? You won't get stopped. And all these are things that you can do on that particular realm. Now, why did I say that about your car? And I'm focusing on that because they have pretty much locked up most of the people that they can lock up on crack cocaine. Then there's a group of people that they're not socialized to fall for that. Or either your ass done been fell for that and went to jail and now you out and you don't want to fall for it again. So that they know that there's a group of people that's not prone to be locked down on serious crimes. That's your so-called upward mobile, or just basically just good old black folks. So what they want to do is they still want to make money off you because that's big business. So they have decided that the automobile is going to be the next frontier, especially in tickets. It's very key that you understand this. Because a ticket can be $700, $1,000, $800. So now they have shifted from locking you down because they understand that they done lock you all up. You're in the store, you done locked up that many people, they in prison. So now your vehicle is the next frontier for the Cold War, for siege. You see what I'm saying? So your vehicle and tickets now. Anybody know what I'm talking about? They doing some. We was in Chicago. They actually hit the fucking sign. No left turn. These shits don't even be in your view. And then $700, bam. You see. So this is the new thing that they're doing. The war ground and the battlefield is in your automobile. You see what I'm saying? That's the key. So you want to do things like this, like putting the Anubis on your automobile or spitting the elixir 4 ways. Just, you don't even have to even do the elixir, which is to put the two together. You can just buy you a bottle of Myers rum, a little small bottle. When you get in your car, you sip it and spit it 4 ways. One sister drove 3 years with no insurance and then got stopped and gave them an old insurance motherfucking tag, a piece of paper, and they said, go right ahead. Remember the Jedi mind tricks? Remember they told him, he doesn't have to stop here. The Jedi, when he was on Tatooine, he said, move right along. He said, move right along. Where do you think they're getting all? That's African science. You see what I'm saying? That's African science. You see. So we can do these kinds of things in the battlefield. In the battlefield, you can do these types of things. You can do these types of things even on your job. You can do these mind tricks and stuff for business deals. You see what I'm saying? You can do this thing where you can, one thing, and one that's just tried and true. And we got this from that Indian reservation in 1994, where you take a white light and hit anybody you want to be under your will. You hit him in the head, imagine a white light busting him in the forehead. And it works, especially when you're going to get, because I'm going to tell you another hassle is when you're going to get shit cut on and, all kind of little paperwork, and you got these assholes just working there. And I don't know what it might be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta hit a person with a white light. You might be going to the airport and lose your driver's license and have to get on the flight. But losing your driver's license, you just as well tell the motherfucker that you're a mass murderer. To get on a flight, you gotta hit him in the head. You see what I'm saying? So these are things, we're talking about these types of magical things that we have arrived to do. Also, another key, a lot of people are worried about finances and stuff like this. They're saying in order for you to go on, it's a spirit thing. Sometimes you got to give up. Like I said, one of the sisters down there, she told her mom, they calling her to come pay on a car. She said, I ain't got the money. She told them, come get this car. They're like, no, we don't want the car. But she still had to get to that point where she said, come get it. You know what I'm saying? I told my landlord, I said, shit, man, my career's crashed and burned, man. I went from working every week to working every month. I can't afford it. Motherfucker said, you can't move, you owe me money. You can't move, you owe me money. I got off the phone, I said, the nerve of him. And I sat down in the chair and I didn't figure it out about an hour later. Wait a minute, hold on, I just got hooked the fuck up. So I started, my rent $650, I started paying him $300. He was cool. They couldn't find out. He was glad to get anything, because I was looking at the spirit was saying, you gotta give up. Because I understand he's a damn undertaker. That means that most of his money that comes, it comes through checks. He gotta wait till certain things clear. So that means a lot of times they gotta put money in caskets. So that means a lot of times they be without cash. They need cash, capital to roll. So $300 on one day is like $1,000. Depends on how your business is set up. You know what I'm saying? I'll give him $300. He was like, shit, that was like $1,000. I'm like, damn, we get this nigga $650 for the last 2 years, but I paid on time all that time. I'm looking at this thing and I'm getting this nigga to, and shit, I've been nickel and diming his ass for the last 3 months. 300, 400. I don't go under 3, that's insulting. I give him 3, 4, 5. So my shit is $650, I'm gonna give him 6 next week. You see what I'm saying? But what it was is the spirit kept saying, you gotta let go. You got to let go. There's things that you're doing right now, but you don't let go. We have 2 dimensions merging in. What you used to do that used to be successful in the physical world and brought you successful gain, you can no longer do that now because the simple fact, we got different dimensions merging in. What do you mean by different dimensions merging in? Look at the fucking weather. We had the coldest winter in Atlanta I've known since I've been there. You see what I'm saying? They had, it's right on the Washington, it was on the Washington, the state of Washington, no, it was on the Alaska paper. The state of Alaska, they had a bird on October the 16th with a wingspan of a DC-10, and everybody saw the shit. In Alaska, we got the newspaper. There's all kind of strange shit happening. And a plane full of people saw a damn bird big as their fucking plane. Now, because we are not made privy of things, we don't know that the world has changed. You should have known that when them damn sharks was biting up all them people. On 2001. And when I went to Denver, they said, we have a bear problem out here. The bear was eating them crackers up. You see? The world has changed. They got cruise ships going out in the Middle Passage, and everybody on the ship getting sick. They're not getting sick because of bad food. They had one, it's simple. You get one ship, go out, you got bad food. When the ship come back, people sick. You don't send another cruise ship out with bad food. No, they know what's going on. They sent another cruise ship out, and no people came back sick. That's because the spirit realm, they were in the Middle Passage. You see? In that realm, they went out there, and the spirit realm contaminated the food, and they all got sick. The spirits made them sick. During the same time, they put out a movie called Ghost Ship. See what I'm saying? Put out a movie called Ghost Ship. Now you probably get a cruise for $4. With Isaac as your bartender. You know? Tell it. But you got to understand, because we don't know it, I'm telling you, it's amazing stuff. I'm telling you, I can tell a lie one day, 3 days later the lie becomes the truth. Now that scares the fuck out of me. Especially when, you know, I'm an excellent liar. And I tell a lie, I know it's a damn lie. 3 days later, the shit come true. I said, wait a minute, I made this shit up. I can't believe it's happening to me. You see, that's all words of power, speaking it into existence. The dimensions have changed. Y'all stick with me. Now, y'all all right? Yeah. So there's things you can do, and we got the magical power to do it now, because we're speaking in the light of day. Now, to go back, there's things that's come about, and this is the book on Palo, that came about. This is coming from Cuba. Now, come to find out, we find out that they closed down Cuba. It wasn't no revolution. Remember now, was Castro America's man during the war? Batista, what else? What's his name? Batista, that's when he,
Batista.
Who was on the side of America during the revolution? It was Castro. Then when Castro came to power, he shut down the country. Well, why is it they say that they give him something like $800 million a year? Why do they pay Castro? American government pays him, no, they say hundreds of millions of dollars a year. You got to understand, there's no such thing as a foe, not unless you make one. Remember before World War II, the Japanese were the enemies, the Japanese and the Germans were the enemies of America. After World War II, and the Allies were the Russians, and the Russians and the Chinese. No, who was it? The Russians, and well, somebody else. The Russians,
England, British, and the French.
No, it was somebody that's their allies, that's their enemies now. It was the Japanese and the Germans, which were the enemies of World War II. And it was Russia was an ally. No, but I'm talking about it has to be a foe now. It was China. China was an ally because China was invaded by Japan. Now after World War II, China becomes the enemy and Russia becomes the enemy. Japan becomes the friend. You see, and Germany becomes the friend. You get how this thing goes? So that means there's no such thing as an enemy to the United States until they make one. This is very important right now, because we're going to get into some stuff today, some stuff that's going down. Now, same thing with Cuba. Come to find out that Castro is a Cuban invention, is an American invention, and that was their boy all along. That's how the game is played. That's how the game is played. They got to have somebody to point the finger to say that country is not free, to convince your monkey slave ass that you're free. That's the number one goal of the book, the occult, what is it? The occult science, what's it called? Occult science and technology? The occult technology of power. which is Illuminati handbook. You can put a person in slavery once you tell them they're free. Once motherfucker tell you you're free and convince you you're free, you can put them in slavery. And we are in slavery. You see what I'm saying? So, they locked down Cuba because, number one, Cuba was, only a few miles from Miami. They had gambling, prostitution, they had all of that going on, entertainment. They had the travel of all the stars and people and rich people and all going down to Cuba, going down to Havana. They had everything that Vegas has now. Everything. The only thing about it was that they had that Vegas didn't have is they had that magic. Santeria, Europa, Palo. You see what I'm saying? They had that doggone magic. And they had to shut them down because those two, the magic world, can't exist. You see what I'm saying? When you got vice, because vice is creativity. You understand what I'm saying? All the shit that the Bible tells you is wrong is the creative stuff. Now stick with me because it's all good, because you pious now. And they got the black woman on a piety trip. You see what I'm saying? It's a whole concept that's going down now. You good. You trying to convince somebody that you're good. You know what I'm saying? Good girls go to heaven, but bad girls go everywhere. You know, I respect somebody giving me some booty. There come my house drinking up my liquor, burning up my electricity, like my grandma say, burning up my electives, and hauling ass. You know what I'm saying? You breaking me awesome. Hey, we friends. We pals. That boy around, that's going through the mind of every man. And guess what? You want to see a sister that's mad and upset? And I know this because it don't happen to the sisters often. But when it does, it's devastating. When a sister get a brother that she want to screw and the brother don't screw her, it's much more severe. See, we learn at an early age. Talk to 1,000, you bound to get 2. So we love getting turned down. You know what I'm saying? And the sisters is used to turning us down. That's a part of it. But when every now and then something new get thrown in the pot, like a sister is wanting to give a nigga some and he don't get it. You know what I'm saying? That's some devastating shit. So it's not like, this is a man thing. Y'all feeling the same thing I am. Nigga come over, you ready to go, and stuff like that, and the next thing the nigga haul ass and don't get none. You know what I'm saying? You be mad at that nigga for 1,000 years. See, I'm talking about dealing with your mind. I'm not dealing with society say you supposed to say and stuff. That's the difference. That's control. You see what I'm saying? So when I was talking about the sexual thing, they was into it, but society told you that you're not supposed to be into that. Which is an oxymoron. That's insanity. You know what I'm saying? Everybody either fucking or knew sometime they did fuck in their life or know somebody who did. So, the vice is a powerful creative force. Now you put the magic to that and you got a paradise. Then they come to find out they did this special on Atlantis and Disney's in this thing. Man, I wish I would have copied it. They did one on Atlantis. They had the movie Atlantis coming out, and they did a special on Atlantis, on ABC in 2001, and they found out that parts of Atlantis was right there in Cuba. And now they got people all over the world is digging down there and finding all kind of artifacts, and America ain't allowed to come. Because they got to keep that bullshit up. You see what I'm saying? So, one of the keys was they had to lock it down because the most powerful force was the Congo rights. And they said in the morning in Cuba, all we heard was palo. At night we used to hear palo. It was in the air. So that means that they was dealing with some magical systems down there, and all that had to be shut down. That's why we're getting a book on palo now. You see what I'm saying? But we're getting this book on palo now. And this one is great because for the people who's done with the Yoruba thing, it lines up the Yoruba deities with the polytheism. So it's a good one, and this is the book on poly. But remember, call a 1-800 number and 188 Occult, OCCULT -1. And this one is $21, but it's let me see how many pages is it. A little over 150 pages. But it's worth it and stuff, because we're talking about material that wasn't available to the Western Hemisphere. You see what I'm saying? Now all this stuff is coming up. This stuff is coming out. And they got about 12 new titles that came out also during the same time. Very key that you understand what's going on. So they had to lock that thing down. It's very key. And so they're opening it up now because they got bigger problems and bigger fish to fry. Now, y'all all right? Let's go into some other stuff. Let's go into some other things because we got a lot to cover. How many Dr. York fans up in this baby? Yeah. The last time I see y'all was all proud of this, the Dr. York boys and stuff. Like y'all was into some shit new. Dr. York been out for years. You know what I'm saying? But what happened to the Messiah? Is there such thing as a Messiah in the last days that can't get from behind some bars? That's what I want to know now. What happened to the Messiah? You see, the problem here is at this particular time, nobody's supposed to be following nobody. That's the concept here. The concept here, if you can read, why do you need to be following somebody? So these things pop up every now and then. Now homeboy get locked down, and it's a part of a government's thing. You got to understand the science behind it. The science is this. Let me show you two things that's going on. First of all, they lock him down. You see what I'm saying? They lock him down. But this is an ongoing thing because it's a war going on. It started with H. Rap Brown in 2000. So they go and they send him to jail, where they had it right on the TV that the police officer say they shot the guy who shot the police officer, and they left a trail of blood, but yet when they get to H. Rap Brown, he don't have a shot on him. You understand what I'm saying? That's very key that you understand this. But H. Rap Brown messed up because it's got to be on the spiritual realm. There was a brother, because you don't understand the other side of things, there was a brother in Atlanta who was a part of the Rasta community. And this brother in Atlanta was a part of the Rasta community. He was loved. I can't think of the brother's name right now. He was loved. And he used to sell herb. And it was a turf war. He was selling herb down the street from H. Rap Brown, H. Rap Brown's camp, Jamil Al-Amin's camp. And his H. Rap Brown boys went up and shot this brother in the head. But whatever this brother they killed, this brother was so loved in the Rasta community. This is in '97 too. The Rasta community was suffering behind it. They literally was mourning this man's death. The whole Rasta and conscious community was suffering behind this brother that got killed. He was well-known Rastafarian. And H. Rap Brown boys killed him. You see what I'm saying? So on the other, on the swing side, you see, he set up a porthole for him to get fucked with. Now, let's go on. Then you get the Khalid incident. Number one, like I said, Khalid was poisoned. The person, Malika, which is the second in command that was in his Black Panther Party, one of these sisters out of Philadelphia, she called me and told me the whole story on how the brothers who was with him started poisoning him from Washington. They was driving from New York to Atlanta, and they started poisoning him. From New York to Atlanta, they started poisoning him, and they got reports that he threw up in a McDonald's in Washington, D.C. Then he gets home and threw up the second time, and then goes into this so-called brain tumor, or this, whatever. They take it to the hospital. Malika calls his wife and tells her, look, do you have the sheets that he threw up on? Oh, we washed them. Well, ain't you a dummy? You know, well, where else did he throw up? I heard he threw up on the floor. That's cool. You can see, go get a piece of razor blade and chip the shellac off the floor, because the hardwood floor, they can analyze that and see whether that's a poison. I'm out the floor. Yeah, right. You see what I'm saying? So, she was in the cahoots too, with the whole 9 yards and stuff. She was a part of that big time, you see. So, it was a sting operation where they killed him. Then comes down to your boy Dr. York. They arrest him. Now, he's supposed to be the living God Osiris. So, they put you in jail. Before you even get sentenced, you're supposed to be, they put you in jail. You're supposed to be out sitting on your front porch before they get back to the goddamn police precinct. Or wherever. You're supposed to be the God incarnate. That's like your boy Yahweh Ben Yahweh locked up for damn 10 years, and he's supposed to be the son of God. See what I'm saying? So this fool here goes to court and pleads guilty. Now why does he plead guilty? He already in his 60s, and they're going to give him 16 years. 16 years to a 60-year-old is, oh, you might well say give him 100. Oh, I'm 75 and I'm out now. What? So, he goes and pleads guilty. He pled guilty because that's a part of the government operation that he was a part of. You want to break the momentum of a crowd. See, if you lock him down, you make a martyr out of it. Yeah, I'll leave it because he's a Messiah when they was following him. He the God that's all the books attributed to. There's a panel that write all these books. He said, he didn't write none of them books. There's a panel. I used to know people that worked on the staff that wrote those books. So he was a Messiah to them, but when he get locked up in jail, they can't explain that no way. So now our leader is locked down, he's a martyr. So the government say, well, we can't have no martyr. He pleads guilty. And what that does, it breaks the psychological morale of the people. They don't know where to turn. And that's how you pimp somebody. It's called putting the dick in their ass. They don't know where it breaks them down because their leader pled guilty. You see what I'm saying? It's called putting the shotgun in, break the shotgun down, click, 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 and put the shells in their ass. That's what that is. That's a problem of prostitution. He pleads guilty and it breaks the morale. They don't know where to turn. Last year, he's your Messiah. This year, the motherfucker's child molester. But the problem here is, we still savage enough to follow other human beings. You know what I'm saying? We still savage enough to follow other human beings. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, I stick my hand in the toilet to make sure that the chain flush. So the little ball will flush in my toilet, and yet you're going to be following old Messiah. You know what I'm saying? I'm cooking on one eye for a year until the motherfucker bought me a stove. But yeah, you're going to follow old Messiah. And you know what? I can do it. I can do it because I done had people that came and wanted to follow me. And you can easily do it. And the government will pay you. The government can give you $40 million if you start a group. And all of them got paid. All of them got paid off. All of them took the doggone money. You understand what I'm saying? Done took the doggone money, all of them. You got an organization, the government will pay you, no matter how militant you are. Remember, Khalid was on the Travel Channel before he died. Or Walk Through Harlem or Khalid Muhammad on the Travel Channel. Everybody getting paid. Everybody getting paid. But it's in the book, the occult
Technology.
Occult Technology of Power, the Illuminati Handbook. It tells you right in there, no matter what these people are, they're your enemy, fund them anyway. We always got to fund everybody. Because when you fund the people, you got them. They tied in. That's how you do it. When money changes hands. You see, so now all of a sudden now, a year later, because Dr. York made it out here to Houston. The nigga was in New York for years. Like y'all got some new nigga, but y'all ready to follow. The next nigga fall off the goddamn train. Y'all ready to follow them. And you don't understand, it's something psychologically wrong with you when you follow all these doggone people. Half of you following them damn babalaos. And them ain't nothing but fucking Afrocentric pimps. That's right. All the damn money you gotta do, you following that shit. They can pimp you any way they want to pimp you. You see what I'm saying? Not necessarily saying somebody on the up and up, but they got some pimps up in that shit. You see what I'm saying? All the money. There's some pimps up in there. Why do you say that? Them motherfuckers, the Bible, and so then you got a whole crew. Oh, I go to Nigeria, my shit is authentic. Well, fuck it, the white man go to Nigeria. The white man, these niggas in Nigeria has inducted in the doggone Ifa 3 million white people in Europe. I didn't say Santeria. Santeria, yeah, naturally there's going to be a lot of whites in Santeria because that's the whole Latin America thing, which is an infusion of both Catholicism, Mesoamerican spirits, and the African, Nigerian Yoruba system, Ifa system. I'm not talking Santeria, I said Yoruba. 3, that means that the only way that they could get that way is somebody black had to make them. Some nigga from Africa. 3 million white people in the continental United States is Yoruba. I didn't say nothing about fucking Europe. I said 3 million white practitioners in Yoruba. So fuck a fucking damn nigga from Nigeria talking that bullshit. They kiss my ass. I'm gonna hear this shit here. You talking about ancestors. Your ancestors is now dealing with white folks. Your slave master. Now how do you explain that? Okay, Mr. Yoruba people. How do you explain that? They got one white Jew that sets over a whole segment of Yoruba in the United States. Then they got a white Jewish woman that said that she got a branch of, the new branch of Ifa. And she calling herself a master. That ain't nothing but a pimp game. Because $4,000 to get anybody a goddamn Ted Bundy could be a Yoruba priest. Barbara Bush, George Bush, Jr. Sr. can go down to damn Nigeria and get inducted into the doggone Ifa system. And we're talking Africa. Because you got to understand, all those shits are defunct now because it ain't about that no more. You see what I'm saying? We got to tell it like it is. Because how do you explain them? Voodoo being usurped every day by white folks. My man went down to doggone Louisiana to Marie Laveau's place and white folks come out. I'm a voodoo priest. And yet you can't get up in none of their goddamn lodges to this day. You understand what I'm saying? Because they know whatever they got to hold on to, you ain't privy to it. You see what I'm saying? You ain't welcome to it. You see? So that whole thing is a pimp game that's going down. But the key here is the reason why these damn leaders is falling, because now for the creative physics or the creative creativity, it's got to come up out of you. It's got to come out of the individual. Then the collective. But it can't come out you following a motherfucker. So all those groups. Remember the Jungian Society did a research on what they thought was evil. What they thought was evil. And they did a research on this thing and they said, well, evil is organized groups. Organized groups. Too many Indians are not enough Indian chiefs, and too many Indian chiefs are not enough Indians. Organized groups. You see what I'm saying? That's and the individuality, the creativity don't come out. You see what I'm saying? But then again, you already know that black people are lazy. You're not going to study and research nothing on your own. You want to go join a damn group and get stuck up the butt, needles sticking you up the butt and stuff. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of things like that. Because we love joining groups. You see, so as a result, we get pimped. Got to know what time. Let me give you some other sciences going down. And this is a major one. If you don't understand the science, you have your boy running for president this year, Al Sharpton. Now, you must understand the science. First of all, you know Al Sharpton tried to go down to Miami. He went down to Alternative Island and he wanted to convince Assata Shakur to come to like Jamaica or come to one of the islands outside of Cuba so that the damn American government can lock her up. That's big time government agent. Remember now in the tape that that Copley said, he said whenever they set down one of their government agents like Jesse Jackson, they got to replace it with another one. You see what I'm saying? So in that line of that civil rights all-star level, the next person that they can put on that level would be Al Sharpton, Reverend Buffon. Now, Al Sharpton can hold his own against any of them crackers. You see what I'm saying? Don't let nobody fool you now. Al Sharpton get in an argument, he ain't gonna evade no issues, just like Jesse. He hold his own on the cracker. But the cracker is not the damn criteria. So when you beat up on somebody. I saw Muhammad Ali back in 1974 scared the shit out one of them Anglican crackers. Right. Had him on there, somebody, look here, you dare not scare me, your brain too small. That cracker was shaking. He said, I dare you to challenge me. That cracker was shaking. That cracker didn't say nothing. So that ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? You know, that ain't nothing to debate them, because they already gonna come unprepared. You know what I'm saying? You just put regular scholarship on them that they're not gonna be prepared, because the simple fact, they figure you black and don't know nothing. And they get slaughtered in any debate with black people. Plus, they know they can't debate no nigga. Hell, a nigga can't debate no nigga. We are dancers. We'll come up with some new shit in the middle of some shit. Because we spend our lives, they call it joning in Georgia. Right. They call it giving hell in South Carolina. What do they call it here, joning? We spend our lives, this shit was severe. So like for passing when I grew up, you got gave hell. And if you didn't know how to give hell, you better hide. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas will give you hell all day. They call it joning. So right there is a form of debate. Right. You got to come up with some quick shit before you get slaughtered and everybody standing around laughing at your ass. So we already know. You get to any intellectual and you get in a debate with the cracker, he'll make up some shit. But they got a shit, that's a part of 7 liberal arts. In debate. What do they call that shit? Rhetoric. The rhetoric. They call that rhetoric. But people didn't know rhetoric was a fucking damn 7 liberal arts. Just that the cracker said rhetoric to you, and you just think that that's synonymous to you. Don't. His motherfucker's full of rhetoric. He uses that shit when he uses that shit when he's in trouble. But he ain't quick enough for you. So that ain't no problem. He's gonna be great if he goes to the debate. You know what I'm saying? Here's the issues. What do you think about it? That ain't nothing. Hell, it damn Jeffro Bodine could win the president, and this motherfucker's an idiot. Bush, you know, Al Sharpton, you know, we always got to be 3 times better. That's not the point. But you got to understand the science on what's happening here by him being a government agent. Now, Jesse had to run for president, and after he ran for president, his name was gold in the black community. Biggest agent there is. So, this is the science, but he's worse. Now, he's running for president in 2004. People all around the world are saying, we want to know the condition of the state of the mind of black people in America. Okay? Now, unfortunately for you, you let people define you with your leaders. We don't know the leader of the Chinese people. We don't know the leader of the Puerto Rican people. We don't know the leader of the fucking white people. And we damn sure don't know the leader of the Mexican or the Japanese. Why the fuck we gotta have a fucking leader? And who invented this shit? You understand what I'm saying? Black leaders. That is because you want to capsulize a people and define a people by individuals. And when you do that, that individual can fuck up and it can be reflective of the people. Right. That's a savage way to undermine. Now, it is Jews that's behind it. The Spin-God brothers and that whole 9 yards. Because guess what? There's only one other people in the world that have a leader, and they're in an opposition with the doggone Jews. And that's your Palestinians. They have a leader. See what I'm saying? The Palestinians, the Arabs. But that right there, the ones that's in direct conflict with the Jews, the first thing they give them Arafat. And they said, and Arafat is synonymous to the Palestinian people. That's a form of warfare. You see, then if you can tear down that person, you can tear down millions of other people. Now, this is the science that they're doing. Now, they're pointing, so no matter how much you have learned how to systematically, scientifically learn how to decode this and have formulas for this, and all your research in academia, they're going to paint the brushstroke for you, Miss and Mr. Black Up and Mobile. They're going to press plate the brushstroke with you with Reverend Buffon. Now try to understand the science here. Now look at the magnitude of, you got to understand warfare. Here's the president of debate. And he's at the president debate with whatever whatnot cracker they got up there. You understand what I'm saying? He's on the world stage and he's representing you. But yet, he has a perm in his hair. And he's not a black woman. And systematically, the black man don't have to alter his hair to have acceptance from the black woman or nobody else. So why does he have perm in his head? His words is, well, if James Brown was your idol, you would have a perm too. Well, I'm saying, yeah, if I'm a motherfucking singer, if James Brown is my idol, I would have a perm. And James Brown is a genius in the world of entertainment. But I'm in the world of politics where James Brown is a fucking idiot. Depends on where you look at it. You see what I'm saying? You understand the concept? So they're looking at him now, and they're going, this is a form of inferiority. You're too inferior to wear your own hair. Okay, I can see if he had it cut in the style of the other white men with receding hairlines or whatever they got. Or that one piece of hair combed all over the scalp. No, he got his shit long. And you see his shit lately? It ain't no straightening comb shit. His shit is literally bouncing and behaving. But you don't understand the side. So it's a form of warfare. They can parade him. Because we need to ask the question, why the fuck are you representing us when we know you're not going to win anyway? What is the criteria here? Well, Jesse already did that, so we can't say it builds character no more. Jesse said, well, it builds character. What kind of character are we trying to build with this bitch? And he's representing you. If you don't think he's representing you, understand. Understand. You don't think he's representing you? Understand. People around the world says he's representing you. See what I'm saying? Now, I'm on the plane coming from a lecture, coming from New York, I think, or someplace. I meet an African from Kenya, been in the country 2 days. He looks at me and say, why are your people on drugs? I said, man, we 40 million goddamn people. What are you saying? You act like there's 2 people? I didn't know there was 40 million people. I said, we're the most educated people on the planet. I didn't know that either. I said, we got 111 black colleges still left. I didn't know no such thing as no black college. I said, we got people in jobs in every position in the country except vice president and president. Everything else we maxed out. I didn't know none of that. You take it for granted because you know these things, but they don't know that. Only thing they know is the fool they see on TV, Nelly. Nelly is good. I like that new song. But that shouldn't be a fucking image in Kenya. Motherfucker with a Band-Aid on his fucking face. You see the warfare? Now that's fine. Nelly is fine in a world when you see other people. We ain't saying that Nelly to retire because of the bullshit. What we're trying to say here is there's an image, you see, of inferiority based on the way you perceived all over the fucking world. You see what I'm saying? This cat didn't know. I said, do you know anything about black people here? Yeah, going to fucking jail. You're all on drugs.
Now with that Newsweek article.
You see?
I said now they follow up with that Newsweek.
Now, This is a part of propaganda also. This is a Newsweek here about the black woman arising much faster than the black man. And what does it mean? What does it mean for families and race relationships? Now, first of all, you must understand this particular part about this. You got to tell the whole story. The whole story is we live in a systematic form of Cold War, because we don't understand Cold War. We understand hot war. Hot war is when you see the LA gangs and they're killing each other and you go, oh man, there's a conspiracy against our black boys. But we don't understand Cold War.
Explain it to us.
Cold War is basically in the particular aspect where you have a systematic war that's going on, and it don't necessarily have to be with doggone physical violence. That's what happened between Russia and the United States. And it was all propaganda. Russia and the United States was pimping people and got everybody around the world to fight and kill themselves, indigenous people, under communism and capitalism in the two countries that was hollering that shit never fought. They went all the way to Africa and killed themselves over that shit. Right. And you know Patrice Lumumba was famous. The finger man for Patrice Lumumba was Colin Powell. Was the finger man for Patrice Lumumba. That nigga killed more black people than the Ku Klux Klan in his years in Grenada. Big time dangerous cracker. Colin Powell. You see what I'm saying? Now, the Cold War is it's all based on your image. So we don't understand that there's a systematic image and always been a policy to keep black males down. And this is not necessarily for white folks. This is for the black woman. This is psychologically to fuck the black woman up.
What's the date?
This
just came out
this week, March 3rd.
2 days ago.
It's on the newsstands now. This is for the black woman to believe in actuality, psychologically, that she's more superior. You say, well, how can that be? No, in a slave culture, you believe what the people who designed the culture want you to believe. You believe in that. That's what a slave culture does. Now, the whole concept here is they will put out a movie to tell you it is all right to go with a chewing tobacco redneck fucking his sister in a double wide called Monsters Ball. You don't understand warfare and give him the Academy Award. My point here is there's no problem that said that there's a great black achievement among black women, but you don't need the goddamn cracker to tell you that. It's a difference. See, some things are given. We already know that the discrepancy and the dichotomy is vast. We know that the gap is vast. We don't need the cracker to tell us that. And don't tell the real story. Because psychologically what it does here is it puts that shit back down to a superiority-inferiority complex. The reason why I'm saying that here is this here. Now I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Let me break this down on layman's terms. There's a ongoing epidemic of black people or black women falling under what is called the Madonna complex or the Hestia complex. Anybody saw the movie? Go get the movie Dr. T and the Women. Get that movie. That's a badass movie. Richard Gere's playing the Dionysian aspect. And man, I said, man, you talking about some fashion? Them women up in there was dressing their ass off up in this doggone movie. Dr. T and the Women. It's set right here in Texas. In Dallas. In the movie, this is very important. Now I'm going to go through some scenarios to try to understand because this is all spiritual on what's going on here. In the movie, he's a successful gynecologist. Doing the pap smears and all that. So the women, they gravitate around him. His wife is played by Farrah Fawcett. She goes to the mall and snaps and starts taking off her clothes and ends up in jail, dancing around in the pool. And then they go to the psychiatrist and the psychiatrist says, your wife. And so the first thing happens is he gets out of jail, take her home that night, he started kissing on her, trying to get that booty. And she go, oh no, we can't do that anymore. Now, when they go to the psychiatrist, they say that she's fallen into what is called a Hestia complex. And Hestia was a Greek goddess who was a patron goddess that kept her home fires burning. And she was a goddess of the home. But she rebelled against love. In this particular case, she rebelled against sex. In this particular case, this woman, Farrah Fawcett, reverted back into childhood. So sex becomes nasty. That's bad. She said, that's bad. That's bad. I can't do that. No, that's bad. Now, in psychological term, it's called a Madonna complex. Get the book, Dr. John Bain's book, The Science of Love. It's a badass book, The Science of Love. Dr. John Bain's book, The Science of Love. I think the Shrine of the Black Madonna sells it. And it's a metaphysical book. You can get it in most metaphysical bookstores. Waters can order it, but I think a few copies might be at the Shrine, The Science of Love. And it's called a Madonna complex. And that is because, and so what happens here is, the woman comes into a particular psychological challenge. In this particular case with the black woman is, her man is all locked up. Her man is all, this is very important. And stuff, because believe me, we might get in an argument about this, but you best believe the white man ain't got the black woman best interest in heart. He gives nothing, cares less than a damn about her. So he is not interested in whether she, you see what I'm saying, rises up or not. She's rising up because that is warfare in the Cold War. You make sure that if we're in a matriarchal culture, a patriarchal culture, then you make sure that the man is always, if you're going to go to war with him, he has to be seen shiftless, not by his people, enemies' people, but by his own woman. This is warfare. And it has nothing to do with inferiority or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? At the turn of the century, there were more black men in college.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Because based on social conditions of a patriarchal system, no woman was being educated on an enormous level at that time. It just depends on how you look at things. You see, so obviously, and hell, our children are much smarter than our great-grandparents. You see what I'm saying? Academically, they can do things in fucking kindergarten that took me to do in the fucking second grade. I'm amazed. You see what I'm saying? Just took them crackers long enough to learn how to teach them. The point I'm trying to make here is, so it ain't got nothing to do with the black man's mind. But this is a form of warfare. So they put out these particular movies, Monsters Ball, saying that no, the redneck is better than the black man. Killed the man and her damn son in the movie. You see? Then she gains the right to be Bond bitch. Got to understand what's going down here. So now she the Bond bitch. You know, the queen of civilization fucking a motherfucker with 4,000 venereal disease. All the women he done screwed since 1963. The character. You gotta understand the sign, because it's all based on a ritual. It's all based on a ritual that's going down. You gotta understand Cold Warfare. You see what I'm saying? She'd been in Hollywood 10 years and didn't even get the roles until she decided to take off her doggone bra. In the movie, what you call it, the first one? Swordfish. You see, most people take off, show the titties at the beginning of the career, and they don't do that no more. You see what I'm saying? But see, this is a science that's actually going down. Holly Berry been around since 1991. You see? Now, the key here is they're dealing with something with this type of thing so that they can put you under the Madonna complex. And that means is this. We know that there's at least 9 to 10 million black women in the United States that can't find no man.
Yeah.
They got entire whole populations in Chicago, New York, Atlanta, where black women are going celibate. They're going celibate because of the Hestia complex. And as a result, and the Hestia complex can also go, not that you're dealing with the Madonna complex, not that you're dealing with a childhood state, but you have conditioned your mind that Prince Charming has to be the criteria to come to you. And you say, fuck the nigga on the bicycle. No, you need to fuck the nigga on the bicycle. Because the nigga on the bicycle can fuck better anyway. Nigga gets his exercise. He riding on the goddamn bicycle. So I'm looking at this thing. They got whole groups of women in Chicago. They're going to get their PhD. They're going to get their PhD. They're in their 50s. Damn, who the fuck gonna hire you? 6, they're going to get their PhD, and they're trading the education. So this is what this shit is about. They're trying to excel through this cracker's career. You understand what I'm saying? To offshoot a warfare that they said, well, the black man out now, you don't understand. The same cracker that's putting you up is the same one that has shot down this black man. So they got thousands of them going to get the PhD. Come to find out, this is a new form of dildo. Because it ain't got no, because it ain't like, you know, some of these people are, you know, these people are going back after years and stuff. The celibacy kicks in, then they go back to their education. All because they don't want to fuck the nigga on the bicycle. There are plenty of men out here, but the standard, the Hestia complex and the Madonna complex is, the standards are so high until they go into a delusional state. Delusions of grandeur. The standards is so high. You understand what I'm saying? That they're looking for that particular male that can be the ultimate. The pinnacle society. They're looking for the Denzel Washington. You understand what I'm saying? You know, instead of the nigga cutting meat at the goddamn supermarket. That's beneath them. That's the Madonna complex. And Prince Charming ain't coming. Because where's Prince Charming? They're in the jailhouse. Let me tell you, if anybody ever been up in these prisons, if you go up in these prisons, you probably masturbate 5,000 times because you'll meet your husband every 5 minutes. And I'm a heterosexual. These brothers be gorgeous in the sense of what you're looking for, but they in the goddamn prisons. You understand what I'm saying? Now, on one concept, what I'm trying to say here is, there's thousands of these sisters are going celibate. Because, oh, that's bad. Maybe God will be good, and the religion don't help. Well, maybe God will be good to me if I stop fucking. You see? So I gotta be pious. So you're trading one thing, the pious and righteous. Yes, brother and sister. Yes, so now all of a sudden the black queen has become a chastity damn queen. I'm telling you what's going on here. So what's happening here, it's a psychological process. So these particular books, you understand what I'm saying? On one hand, they're not celebrating. Newsweek is fucking government. They're not celebrating black women, etc. Well, that means you got to be still inferior because you have the species, you have a baby boy. You say your baby boy is inferior? That's like the patriarchal thing when men think that their women are inferior. How can your mother be inferior? It's the same concept. This is the reverse sexism. Now, meanwhile, based on metaphysics, they understand that there's only one person on the planet, 2 people on the planet, where the species half is both victims of sexism. Naturally, the black woman, but the black man is the only male in history that is a victim of sexism based on the white man feels inferior of your sexuality. Of your sexuality. So he views you as the same xenophobia of fear as he does the woman. And so therefore, you are on lockdown because of sexism. And both of you are on lockdown based on racism. And you got to understand the war. These motherfuckers here are not interested in this. You understand what I'm saying? Now, they came out with an article in 1999 saying this is the best time ever for black people financially. But why aren't black people celebrating? I said, black people celebrate because black people know, fuck, you don't dictate to us when it's the best time financially. Have you ever gone to the fucking supermarket lately? Prices are unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? You know, so this whole concept here is here, but look, it's interesting because in this particular article here, y'all all right? In this particular article here, greed, a powerful weapon of blacks. Since abolition of slavery, blacks have had large amounts of money because also too, that's true, because they said that also too, this whole concept that we were always in poverty is not necessarily true. Black people have always had in this country. Yes, we had our poverty too. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to sweep that under the rug, but to say one-sided that we all came from a poverty-stricken people is not necessarily true. You understand what I'm saying? If you do per capita and understand the times that we were in the 1920s and shit, it's the same shit on the level we on now. Probably better. You see what I'm saying? Because the disparity